of Eddie.
You know, I was kind of hoping that maybe they would decide that they didn't want to participate today, but we're not going to be that lucky, I'm afraid. They are here all decked out. This is a tough tag team. They won those USWA tag titles very, very quickly. They have held the world championship ever since. They have not lost them. And that gives you an idea of what kind of team we're talking about in Psycho and Killer, the Texas Hangmen.
And the intensity of the Texas Hangmen, Dave, I don't think I've seen a tag team in the USWA in many a year that fights in that ring with the intensity of these two.
Oh, I'm sorry, referee Frank Morrell, I thought was signaling for the bell. Actually, just telling the Hangmen to get the warm-up gear off and let's get underway and quit dragging this thing out. Now he wants one apiece, and, well, the bell's already sounded. That's going to be the opening bell, all right? Danny Davis going against one of the Hangmen. They're both big guys. Here's Michael St. John.
Thank you very much, Dave Brown, and this is a whale of a main event here on television. Tag team action, Nightmare Danny Davis right away going right after the Hangman. Danny Davis not taken at all by the size of the Hangman at all. The World Junior Heavyweight Champion, Nightmare Danny Davis, regaining that belt. And now in tag team competition with his partner, Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert, against the World Tag Team Champions, the Texas Hangmen. Tag is made. Hot Stuff going to come in right now and take right over where Danny Davis leaves off.
Well, I tell you what, the Hangmen are going to find out what kind of opponents they got today. They got a couple of guys that give away height just about every time they step into the ring, but they're both battling wrestlers, let me tell you.
And Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert pouring the coals to the Hangman in the ring. And there's the reaction of our fans here in the studio. They know that when this team gets going, they can probably lick anyone in the country, and right now the World Tag Team Champions are taking a pounding.
You know, this is a non-title match. Those belts are not on the line, but I tell you what, the way Eddie Gilbert and Danny Davis are wrestling, you would think this was for all the marbles.
And Eddie Gilbert right back in after the Hangman. By the way, this match is an expiration of time match, so if it takes 2 falls, 3 falls, 4 falls, we'll go on until we are out of time here on television. A big TV main event signed by the USWA. And I must commend Max Andrews and the USWA for putting a match of this caliber on television involving the World Tag Team Champions.
Absolutely right. It's always great to have quality matches for the fans. We have had them today, and this one, as we said, we have been looking forward to all day long.
Nightmare Danny Davis caught in a double team now by the Hangman. Second Hangman climbing those ropes. Now he's rope walking, and he headbutts Danny Davis, and Danny goes sprawling to the mat. And the big Hangman stays right after him. Danny whipped into the ropes, and the elbow loaded and delivered, and Danny Davis sent reeling. Now we see the superior strength and size of the Hangman beginning to take effect in this match.
I tell you what, you see the intensity on both sides of the ring here. Can you imagine what's going to happen in that Texas brawl coming up this week?
Oh my goodness, Dave. I don't know of an arena in the country that can hold the Texas brawl, because not only do you have the awesome power and strength of the wrestlers in there, they can bring anything into the ring and they can use it.
Absolutely. You know, they can bring a truck in here if they can pick it up and carry it.
Between the Texas Hangmen, I think they probably could.
They might be able to.
Right now, Nightmare Danny Davis taking a beating at the hands of the Hangman. Eddie Gilbert tries to come in to help him out. In the meantime, the referee ordering Eddie back, and that gives the Hangman a window of opportunity to double team Danny Davis, and they've got Danny in a bad shape right now in the corner, putting that boot right across his throat.
Well, I tell you, Danny taking a beating right now from that big Texas Hangman. He was reaching for the corner, but he was a long, long way from Eddie Gilbert.
Here's Danny off the ropes again. Hangman, Danny, flying tackle. This could be a pin. 1, 2. But the other Hangman in to drag him off. Good move by Danny Davis with that flying body press on the Texas Hangman, but the Hangman quickly recovering after some outside interference.
Yeah, another reason this team is so devastating, because they do have good teamwork, even in a situation like that we as the fans don't like to see, but it is teamwork, and it does help them keep those belts.
Hangman dragging Danny over in the corner and putting that big fist. That fist, I'm sure, is the size of my foot or bigger. It is huge, and the Hangman whips Danny right back into the ring, takes that reverse chinlock. Nightmare Danny Davis needs to make that tag and get to Eddie Gilbert and get the fresh man in the ring.
Boy, you're right. Danny Davis He's still a long way. He's right out in the center of the ring. Eddie Gilbert is there. He's ready for the tag. But give the Hangman credit for keeping Danny Davis away from the tag. That's part of the strategy in winning a tag team match. Keep a tired wrestler in there. Don't let that fresh man continually come in and out of the ring.
And Dave, exactly as you're saying, the Hangman exercising that strategy now, double teaming Danny Davis, and again continuing to wear down the man that is the worn out man, if you would, in the ring.
And that's pretty much what they need to do with both wrestlers being as strong as Eddie Gilbert and Danny Davis. If they can keep one in there and cut it down to a 2 against 1, then they've got a much better chance of walking out of here with a win.
Danny Davis with a kick to the midsection. He's over near his corner now, makes the tag. Here comes hot stuff Eddie Gilbert. And Eddie is fired up.
That's what the fans were waiting for.
Eddie going to town.
Oh, look out.
Just as the going gets tough, here comes Tom Pritchard and stunning Steve Austin. Jeff Jarrett now is coming into the ring. Here's Robert Fuller. We may have a Texas brawl right here today on TV.
I tell you what, it certainly is a preview of it, as we have got a ring full of them going against each other right now.
Referee Frank Morrell calling for the bell. Frank is really at a loss of trying to separate these men.
Yeah, we've rung the bell twice already, and I tell you, Frank, I'll ring it for you 100 times, but it isn't going to do any good.
There's some chairs going flying into the ring. Jeff Jarrett throwing the chair right back at Tom Pritchard. And just as the Hangmen get their comeuppance, if you will, everything breaks loose from the dressing room.
There goes the Texas bunch. We'll take a break, and we'll be back here in a moment.